When you think about rally legends that also translated beautifully onto the streets, one name that stands tall is the Toyota Celica GT4. This car wasn't just a sports coupe with a turbocharged engine, it was Toyota's ticket to dominating the World Rally Championship in the late 80s and 90s. Today, we're diving deep into everything that makes this machine so special: its design, cabin, performance, and how much you'd need to spend if you want one today in the United States. Starting with the exterior, the Celica GT4 went through several generations, but each one carried that aggressive, rally-bred character. The most famous versions are the ST165, ST185, and ST205. The Saint 165 was boxy and sharp, very much an 80s child with angular lines and pop-up headlights. The Saint 185, which is arguably the most iconic because of its rally success, took on a smoother design, with more curves while still looking muscular. Then came the ST205 in the mid-90s, and that's the one that really looks like a road-going rally weapon. You've got those wide arches, big fog lights, a functional hood scoop, and an aerodynamic shape that still manages to look timeless. Each generation streamed performance without being over the top, and they all carried subtle but purposeful details, things like rally-inspired wings, flared fenders, and air intakes that weren't just for show but for feeding that turbocharged engine. When you see one on the road today, it stands out because it doesn't look like the usual sports coupes of its time, it looks like something designed with motorsport in mind. Stepping inside the Celica GT4, you're reminded that this was a car designed for driving first, comfort second. The cabin is driver-focused, with everything angled toward the person behind the wheel. The materials are simple but functional. Toyota never tried to make this a luxury car. What you get is a cockpit that feels serious and purposeful. The dashboard in the ST185 and ST205 models has a wraparound style that gives you that fighter jet vibe. Gauges are big and clear, with a tachometer front and center where it belongs. The steering wheel is sporty and the shifter has a short, mechanical throw, reminding you that this is a performance machine. The seats are supportive, often with bolstering to hold you in place during aggressive cornering. They aren't as plush as what you'd find in a Grand Tourer, but they're perfect for spirited driving or even rally stages. In the ST205, you also had nice touches like leather trim and a more modern layout, but Toyota never let the car drift away from its performance roots. Rear seats exist, but let's be honest, they're more for occasional use or storage than for adults. The cargo space is practical for a sports coupe, making it a car you could live with day to day while still enjoying its rally heritage. Now, performance is where the GT4 truly shines. Under the hood, all generations came with Toyota's legendary 3S GTE turbocharged inline-4 engine, paired with a sophisticated all-wheel drive system. The Saint 165 kicked things off in 1986 with around 190 horsepower, which at the time was impressive for a compact coupe. It was enough to launch the car into the rally scene and prove Toyota was serious about competing with the likes of Lancia and Audi. The Saint 185, which arrived in 1989, took things further. Power was bumped to around 200 to 225 horsepower depending on the market, and the engine was stronger, more refined, and paired with a better developed AWD system. This generation is the one that Carlos Sainz piloted to multiple WRC victories, and it's why the Celica GT4 is still respected by motorsport fans worldwide. By the time we got to the ST205 in 1994, Toyota had turned things up another notch. This one had around 250 horsepower, a water-to-air intercooler, and a more advanced suspension setup. The handling was sharp, the grip was phenomenal, and the acceleration could genuinely surprise people, even by today's standards. 0 to 60 in around 6 seconds may not sound crazy fast compared to modern sports cars, but in the mid-90s, for a relatively affordable Toyota, that was serious performance. The all-wheel drive system deserves a special mention. It wasn't just for show, it was derived from rally technology. This meant the GT4 could put its power down in all conditions, whether you were driving in the rain, snow, or carving through mountain roads. The balance between power and control is what makes it so rewarding to drive. Add in the turbocharged punch and you have a car that feels alive, eager, and connected to the driver in a way that modern cars sometimes lack because of too much electronic intervention. When it comes to pricing, things get interesting. Back in the day, the Celica GT4 was considered expensive for a Toyota, but still more affordable than European rivals. In the United States, we never officially got the GT4, which makes them rarer here today. Most examples are imported under the 25-year rule. Prices depend heavily on condition, generation, and whether the car is a special edition. For instance, the ST165 models can sometimes be found starting around the mid-teens, let's say $15,000 to $20,000 for decent examples. The more desirable ST185, especially the Carlos Sainz or RC editions, can fetch anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000 depending on mileage and originality. The Saint 205, being the most advanced and sought after, often commands even higher prices, typically ranging from $35,000 to $60,000, with pristine or rare editions going beyond that. Considering how rare they are in the States and how important they are in Toyota's performance history, prices are only climbing, especially as enthusiasts realize just how special these cars are. Owning one today is about more than just driving a cool old sports car. It's about owning a piece of rally history, a machine that carried Toyota to championships and proved that Japanese